Hi, it's Hazel and welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. Well, this is going to be the final time that you see this Trovember, hashtag Trovember challenge that ran for the entire month of November 2025, and a challenge created by Kelly from Collage Lab. So I did all 30 days. I didn't, some days I had to do 2 or 3 prompts just because life gets in the way. But I will, eventually turn this so you can see more detail. I'll bring you up to date, though, on the last 5 prompts. So day 26 was sign. I had a number of these road signs. They're kind of glitter, or, holographic or something. So I was able to use one of those. Occupation, I included this guy who's probably a plumber with that giant pipe wrench there and a crescent wrench there and a tool belt. Blob, I just created this with some dimensional paint that is probably 20 years old. Vegetable, I use these Roma tomatoes down here. And then my final, the final prompt was bird. Now, I'm not happy with how I did that placement because that poor beak of that bird's kind of disappears. So I have this Micron pen, and I'm just thinking that if I did a wee bit of, even that seems to help, because otherwise that, maybe I should do a little mark under the entire bird. It does seem like this bird sort of just between his little white throat there and maybe that helps add a little dimension or set them apart a bit. And this is a 0.05, so really pretty. I'm trying to do kind of a broken line to some degree because that's more artsy, don't you know? Anyway, so that is that, my lovelies. I'm really glad that I did this. I'm looking forward to next year. And I also have already pre-registered for Amuse Bouche, which is a 52-week-long thing happening in 2026 that Kelly is leading. If you want to know more about that, you can go to her her website. She talks about it on YouTube, as well as I was lucky enough to get to interview her for my Heart to Heart series. I do have this prompt list that I had taped to the back of this canvas, and I will retape that now that we're done with it. I will try to show this to you right side up in, obviously, stages. So hopefully you can see the overall effect. Now, if I was any sort of a social media person, I would be I'd hang this back on my door, which is where it has been hanging all month, and take a photo and post it on Instagram. But anyway, I know a lot of you like that lady who is so snazzy, so dolled up. The only way to tell that this was something from the kitchen is the fact that she's wearing an apron. Anyway, guys, this has been a lot of fun. Of course, there is no deadline for participating. If a person wanted to go through the motions by themselves, you could do it any month of the year for that matter. So anyway, thank you, Kelly, for coming up with this, and I'm really glad that I took part. I would suggest that next year I would probably do this on a more camera-friendly shape and size. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. It has been a slice. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.